In this episode, I'm sharing the lessons, opportunity, and learning that I am taking from 2020. You'll learn 3 powerful questions that you can ask yourself to shift into 2021 with greater intention and purpose. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson, a certified professional coach, mentor, writer, and speaker. I help professional women gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to pursue their bigger purpose and vision so that they can have fulfillment and thrive in their careers. I believe there is beauty in our voices, beauty in our stories, and beauty in our journeys. There is power in community, connection, and deep, meaningful conversation, which is why me and my guests are here to share our stories, experiences, lessons, and learning to inspire you as you walk the path and step into your next level. We go deep, sharing beautiful reflections of what this personal growth journey looks like in real, living color. This journey of pursuing our purpose and vision as we continue to evolve. It is my mission to empower you to believe in your power, to embrace your own uniqueness, and to be the best version of you. I want to see you thrive purposefully. Now on to the episode for today. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson. In this podcast episode, I'm sharing 3 what I'm calling LOLs, lessons, opportunities, and learning that I'm taking from 2020. Be sure to listen to the end because I'll also give you 3 powerful questions for you to ask yourself to help you understand what 2020 has revealed to you. Specifically, what did you need to see this year so that you can shift into the new year with greater intention and purpose? So I was thinking about what I was going to talk about on the podcast this morning, and I happened to be flipping through a book that I own. It's by Queen Afua, and it's called Heal Thyself. Heal Thyself. The crazy thing is that I had heard of her many years ago, and the book actually stayed in my cart for many years on Amazon, but I didn't purchase the book until February of 2020 this year because it kind of aligned with some of the things I had been really learning about digging deeper into healing, and I've always been into natural health and things like that, natural cures, but it just really aligned with where I was on my journey this year. So I purchased it in February, and I haven't read through all of it, and I own a couple more of her books, but I saw a quote today that just kind of aligned perfectly with what this podcast is all about, and it speaks to what this episode is going to be about. And the quote is, "Life is a reflection. If you don't like your life, wash your mirror." So I thought it was such serendipity because it aligns so much with this podcast and this episode. Because it's so true. Life is a beautiful reflection. It's always teaching us what we need to know and showing us what we need to hear. And it's all for the purpose of helping us grow and evolve so that we can become the person we're created to be and fulfill our purpose here on this earth. Now, we all know that 2020 has taken us on an unwanted and unexpected roller coaster ride. With so much uncertainty, in many ways, we may have felt like we were upside down, really grasping for air and afraid at times. For many, it's been a year of sadness, loss, change, and hardship. I mean, we were really forced to slow down and stay put. Strategize in business and improvise were necessary. So, of course, we're ready to bid good riddance to 2020, and we are so ready for 2021 and anxiously awaiting a better year. In fact, I don't know about you, but I'm already planning where I want to go for summer vacation, getting beach body ready and all that good stuff. You know, all the stuff we tell ourselves when it's time for a new year. Yet, as we prepare to shift into a new year and a new season, it's important to take time to reflect. We can't miss what life has offered us this year. Despite how challenging and difficult it's been, we have to look for the lessons, opportunities, and learning that exists. So here are my 3 LOLs, the lessons, opportunity, and learning from 2020. LOL number 1. So I spent a lot of time alone and in my house this year. And for those of you who know me may think, well, that's not that big of a deal because you're already an introvert and you like being alone. Okay, while the latter is true, it went to another level this year. And what made it challenging was that I lost the option for anything else. I lost the option to be out and about, to travel, to see family and friends, to host in-person events. I no longer had the option to do any of those things, like many of you. But the opportunity in this for me was to connect deeper with myself and to spend some time with me. What do I need? How can I nourish myself? What would give me joy right now? Some days it was, I'm going to relax. I'm going to take a long bath, cook a nice meal, find a good book to read, look at some pictures of my niece, or other days it was just, I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And sometimes it was, you know what, I need to get some work done. I'm going to write and I'm going to work on my business. Oftentimes, unconsciously, we use people to fill our life, to fill the voids in our life. And I know it sounds bad, but stay with me for a minute. Like, we keep people around to really entertain us, to keep us company, to make us laugh, to have fun with. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you have the friend you call to vent to, your hangout friend to make you laugh or to get crunk with, the friend you call when you need good advice and help. And yes, that's the beauty of friendship and having great support. But when we're always with other people and depending on other people for our happiness and joy, we're lost to ourselves. We never get to experience the beauty of being in a relationship with ourselves and what it feels like to love on ourselves and to relish in being by ourselves and not feeling like we need other people to make us feel happy and loved. So the learning for me was to get to know Katherine better, to be okay with me and spending time with myself. I was able to take my self-care and practices to a deeper level. I spent a lot more time in stillness, solitude, meditation, and self-reflection. And I really learned a lot about myself and gained a greater sense of peace with being alone. And the best thing is now I can be alone and be good without the need to fill the space with someone because I feel lonely. So thinking about 2019, I was very busy, traveling, attending retreats, hosting events and workshops, going, doing. I can say with absolute certainty that I spent less time being with myself, alone, and creating space for me. So 2020 in that regard was a necessary reprieve. LOL number 2. So in spending so much time alone and by myself, I got to see some of my habits and my ways. I got to see how I was really spending my time when I'm focused versus distracted. I got to see my relationship with food, how often I'm hitting up the refrigerator and what I'm choosing to eat. I got to see how much effort I was putting into my health and wellness when I'm getting up to work out or making excuses. I got to see my commitment level, what that looks like for my work and my business. Was I really going all in and giving it my all? I got to see some of the things that were really getting in the way of my success and the things that I said I wanted. Now, I can't say on one hand that I want to be healthy and vibrant and have vitality, but my diet doesn't reflect that. I can't say I want a 6-pack abs, but I'm sitting over here popping 6 packs of snacks all day. I can't be saying that I want to someday be a full-time entrepreneur when I'm not putting in the effort that's required with the time that I have now. During this year, I got the opportunity to really see myself. The hardest thing to do is to look in the mirror and to be honest about what we see and be willing to admit that we have some areas where we can improve. And yes, even as a coach, I am still and will always be evolving and working on the areas where I need to improve. And that's what's really required when we are committed to being our best self and living our best life. We have to be willing to stretch, to grow, and to be uncomfortable. And that's what personal growth is really all about. And it's the premise behind this podcast. So we're really highlighting personal growth, what it entails, what it looks like, and providing you with tools, resources, and support. My guest and I will be sharing with you the real of what personal growth and development entails. and what it looks like in our lives with openness, honesty, and vulnerability. So I'm all about walking the talk, and my values are authenticity, integrity, connection, service, and love. I am committed to living those values. So I'm going to keep it real with you on this podcast. This is also a part of my growth as well, moving past perfectionism and putting up this aura of perfection, because people really admire truth and authenticity. No one wants a picture perfect facade. And I've really learned the value of transparency, and I've seen its ability to connect people in ways unimagined and really facilitate healing and growth. So we can't be afraid to let people really see us and who we really are, because there's so much power in us showing up and bringing our full selves. So as a result of connecting deeper with myself and really seeing myself, I've been able to level up in so many areas of my life: my health and wellness, my relationships, my work, and my business. But I'll definitely have to do another podcast on level up tips and strategy, because I've learned so much. And I really want to expound upon this because there are so many lessons that I'm sure could support you. But for the sake of time, I want to finish this last LOL so I can get to the powerful questions. So LOL number 3. This last LOL that 2020 has given me is the opportunity to go deeper with my faith and with God. Man, it's been so much chaos and confusion this year, and I feel like it was just at an all-time high. The level of fear and uncertainty, man, it just seemed to skyrocket through the roof, right? I mean, anybody who hasn't been living under a rock has felt the effects. For many, it's really been a battle not to lose hope. And for me, it's been a daily tug of war to choose faith over fear. And honestly, some days fear seems like it's going to take the lead, but, I keep coming back to faith. And that's just this belief that things will get better, and this too shall pass. Even more at a deeper level, it's just this belief in myself and what I'm truly capable of, and a greater belief in my calling and my purpose, and a commitment to this vision that's been placed in my heart. Now, I'm a firm believer in trusting the process and seeing the opportunity. And I have to believe that no matter what, everything works out for our good. I think about how this year has moved me closer to myself and God. I always say that I'm not a religious person, I'm more spiritual, but this year I really had the opportunity to commit to a spiritual practice and learning God for myself. They say that God moves in mysterious ways. I believe that God always has a way of waking us up and getting us to see what we need to see. I know that this year I needed faith more than anything, and I needed a power and strength outside of my own. And it's crazy as it may sound in many ways, I really feel like I needed what 2020 offered me. It was a very necessary part of my growth and my journey. It was a great time for me to continue going deeper and learning, not just about God and spirituality, but really learning overall at a holistic level and applying it to where I am on my journey today. So those are the 3 LOLs: lesson, learning, and opportunity that I'm taking from 2020. Despite this insane year, we still have something to be grateful for. I'm extremely grateful for my life. I have breath in my body, and I have the opportunity to continue to do this work. I'm grateful for my sanity, a sound mind. I haven't completely lost it. I'm still positive. I still have hope and faith, and I'm grateful for support, like really having a strong support system during this time, because I really don't know if I would be in such a great space without having the right people around me. So as promised, here are 3 powerful questions to ask yourself to really help you understand what 2020 has revealed to you. Question number 1, what worked or what went well this year? Now, I want you to think about the successes, the wins, the things that you can celebrate, and things that you learned. Think about things that you would like to continue or take into the new year. Question number 2, what did not work or what really hindered your growth? Now, think about the areas for improvement. Maybe you saw some of your habits up close and personal like I did. Perhaps these may be things that you want to leave in 2020, like maybe procrastination, passivity, or laziness. Question number 3. What do you need to change or do differently to support your success or having what you really, really, really want? Now think about your action and inaction, what you did and what you didn't do. Also, really think about how you are being, your attitude, your beliefs, and your thoughts. Are these things helping you or are they limiting your success? You can use these questions to help you move into 2021 with greater intention and purpose by really putting into perspective the lesson, opportunity, and learning from 2020. Now, as you reflect on these questions, remember, it's easy to look back and think, well, I could have done so much more with my time. I could have been so much more productive. But we think these thoughts because we're so driven to constantly perform that we really lose the beauty in simply being exactly where we are on our journeys with ease and flowing with life instead of forcing what simply doesn't fit at this moment where we are. So always have grace and compassion with yourself. Don't judge or criticize it as good or bad. It's always an LOL, lesson, opportunity, or learning, if you're willing to see the beautiful reflection or what life is offering. And of course, it's not to make light of anything that's going on right now or has happened this year, but it's to help you gain an awareness that opens your eyes to the possibility and potential. I want to really challenge you to use what you've heard today and apply it to your life by taking it a step further. Don't let it just be more information or just another podcast. Make it work for you and put it into practice by using these 3 powerful questions as journal prompts. Or if you heard something that triggered something about your 2020 journey, reflect on that and journal about it. And make some time in your day to get quiet, be still, and listen. Reconnect with your higher self, God, spirit, source, creator, whatever that is for you. And lastly, share this with another woman in your life that could use the encouragement. Remember to look for the LOL. Until next time. Thank you for listening to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'd love to hear from you, so connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn at Katherine N Johnson. Now, if you enjoyed the podcast, show me some love and subscribe, leave a review, and share with another woman in your life. If you're ready to get started with self-reflection or connect more deeply with yourself, click on the link in the show notes to download my 7-day self-reflection guide. This guide will give you the clarity, courage, and confidence to move forward and pursue your bigger purpose and vision. Be sure to check back soon for new upcoming episodes. Until next time.